Alright, here we are with the good old round 4, match number 1. At least the match we're watching. Match 30, technically. With good old Benjamin versus Jordan.
Something that's interesting is most of the battles that we've seen, back and forth, whichever one has the health advantage, they always get brought down to be equal with their opponent.
Yeah. Let's see, does anyone actually have a heal? No one has a heal, so... You know, it's whoever's going to be able to do the most amount of damage and able to outlast their opponent, though, and you know, get those hits in the right windows. Yeah, Benjamin does have a tower shield in addition to the brace, so both have brace, both have brace out there. Jordan does have King Art, so he's able to break shields, though. That's good. So lots of great things that are possible in this match.
Ben's got a good amount of pivots too. And 1,000 overtime as well for King Victorious. Just based off what I'm seeing, it looks like Ben may be preparing for a woolly mammoth against Jordan, especially to get a good stun in. And he could probably hit again shortly after.
Well, gotta remember, though, they don't have a large selection of cards, though.
That is correct.
Yeah,
right.
His largest hit is Snow Angel. So, like, one of the things that we were mentioning while we saw the cards was, you know, like, Snow Angel, which is literally the spell that it taunts you. Like, it just does that for some reason.
Yeah, that completely slipped my mind. I'm sorry.
So, like, and since, you know, that's one of his few hits, we're going to see the taunt happening over and over and over and over and over. But that's kind of the fun part about these sort of things.
And the thing with Snow Angel as well is, in terms of hitting, it can do alright damage, but especially if Benjamin can land a crit on Jordan, it can do some pretty decent damage as well.
Yeah, I mean, a lot. You know, actually, most of his stuff is dot based. If you take a look at it, at his spells overall, so the spells that he can use, so the spells that weren't banned out of his 8, I gotta ask around what the 8 were, but like these are the 6 that have you know passed the ban phase. So Benjamin the Ice Wizard, you know, he has Ice Blade, he has Brace, Tower Shield, Frostbite, Reindeer Knight, and Snow Angel. Jordan himself has a Snow Shield, a Brace, a King Art, Orthrus, Basilisk, and Spirit Blade. So, like, there are a lot of possible options here. A lot of really interesting things that could be happening with these limited spells. There are a lot of ways to slice the dice, you can say. But hey, at least everyone knows what the opponent has. And you gotta play your cards literally just right.
And then Ben's already almost at max pips again as well. But looking at the health advantage, Jordan has almost double the health of Ben. But Jordan as well still has the overtime from Snow Angel on him as well.
Yeah, and especially with a limited card set, they can't, you know, he can't have any regular mitigation. Some of the mitigation is to just triage it, but like as we see here, it's just aura or snow shield though, and those snow shields aren't going to be as effective against, you know, a multiples of dots though. That is the dilemma though. That is indeed the dilemma that we're going to be seeing here. Who's going to be able to?
Can Ben use?
You know,
could Ben use Snow Angel as well, or does he have to do anything else before that?
I think Snow Angel is just the biggest hit that we saw personally, as we were a little bit late to the match.
The Snow Angel seemed very effective on Jordan.
Yeah, those angels will melt you, which is well, no. Like, you know, it's so cold, it just went, you know, we just overflowed in the other direction. That's just kind of where we're going. You know, everyone loves their King Arts, man. You know, that Myth one's especially really good against those shields. You know, it gets to, you know, you have the initial hit, then it gets another shield off, and then you have the dot. So like, you know, and it's potent. You know, these braces definitely are really important for our participants in order to survive against dots, as that is a way to go around shields, especially in this case. Truly, it could be anyone's game. Well, I guess like a round or two ago. Sorry, I'm a little time delayed if you can't tell. I mean, it's not looking good though for Benjamin. Definitely not looking good. Yeah, he is in danger zone, but he does have those pips though, so he could go on a barrage of attacks though. Like anything can in fact happen. We have seen recoveries from worse places in the past before, so anything can happen.
Perhaps from Ben's perspective is he wants to keep putting shields up because he knows Jordan will probably rely on using another King of Torius. And then Ben might try to do a Snow Angel and see if he can do the dot on Jordan to see if he can eliminate him before the King of Torius one count him.
Yeah.
He's pretty much at a big disadvantage with only having about a quarter of Jordan's health.
I'm sure he wishes he's able to use either Earthquake Aftershock or an Enfeeble, but obviously it doesn't have that in. You know, it is a game mode all about using a limited amount of deck spaces as efficiently as possible, while also playing mind games with your opponent, though. You know that is the game, though. You have you start out with 8 cards. Your opponent sees your deck, has the option or has the ability to ban 2 of the 8 spells, leaving you with just 6 spells afterwards. You know, you gotta be very careful on how you build your deck. If you just falter ever so slightly, or be unfortunate or in what is banned from your opponent, it may not look the best for you. But the good news is this is the best out of 3 set of matches, so you'll be able to have a second chance at glory later on if you, let's just say, lose and your deck just wasn't calibrated right. That's the best part. We can see evolutions of their decks. That's the most exciting part of how these matches evolve in this game mode.
And then Benjamin is knocked out with Orthros from Jordan.
Yeah, you know, it is.
I'm curious to see what the very first move.
It is Team Myth, though. Definitely has won this point for the match. But of course, Benjamin can make a comeback in set 2, and then we can get to have the final point in match 3. Well, particularly set 3. Let's begin, though. Let's begin with set 2. All right, man. Let's see. So Benjamin has the lead, at least, so that is a consolation of some sort. Let's take a look at the spells they have available, right, man?
All right, so what kind of spells do they got?
All right, according to the ref chat, Jordan has Snow Shield, Brace, Mythblade, Time Elision, Orthrus, and Spirit Blade. While Benjamin has Brace, Dream Shield, Tower Shield, Frostbite, Winter Moon, Snow Angel. So Winter Moon is new. Interesting. Okay, so the big difference is he has a additional shield outside of Tower. So like he just took Tower out and went, you know what? I just need to set shield. Cause I don't remember Dream Shield earlier. Well, actually, he still has Tower. We'll see how this goes, though. Like, it seems mostly it's pretty similar. I kind of wanted to see some form of blade clearing, though. But I don't know what the other 2 spells were, so.
And the first hit is from Jordan onto, or Jordan from onto Benjamin. So that's just the first hit. So Jordan already prepared for the Winter Moon from Benjamin, already put up that. Let's see, how's that going to play into Jordan's favor later on? Right now, Ben doesn't have any pips. He has a power pip and a normal. Meanwhile, Jordan has 4 power pips, so I can really give him more room to actually put a hit on Ben. And Jordan appears to be stacking blades as well. So in terms of what Ben is doing right now, it appears that he's going to be trying to set up maybe a little bit more defensive than he did at first. So we never saw the very first part of the match. We don't know really what happened there. It could have been a slip up. It could have been Ben trying to be a little more aggressive. But Ben really did take a lot of damage in the last match. So it looks like Ben definitely is trying to be a lot more defensive. And Jordan was also able to land on a crit as well with Orthros. And that brought Ben down to be about equal with his health to Jordan. And then once again, we see the shields back up from Ben's side as well. So we see he definitely is playing a little bit more defensive against Jordan. But Jordan's also going to do that same thing as well, putting up a nice shield because he knows Ben's probably building up for a hit as Ben is collecting all these pips. And that kind of puts Ben in a disadvantage as well because he doesn't have any blades to do as much damage on Jordan. However, Jordan is already working his way back up with pips. Just a couple more blades, he can do another Orthros again on Benjamin, especially if it crits again. That could be a pretty decent amount of damage.
Well, here's the thing. So, like, again, the idea of the game mode is you get 8 spells, and your opponent's allowed to ban 2 of them. So, and they can change their bans and their they can change their selection of 8 spells and then the bans in each subsequent match in the best of 3. That's the idea. So, like, let's just say a strategy wasn't working for you, or let's just say your bans last time was really bad. They can change it up and make it better, though. That's the idea. So in this case, though, Jordan can only use Snow Shield, Brace, Myth Blade, Time of Legend, Orthros, and Spirit Blade. So in that case, yeah, so like, basically, he just didn't really like the dots on him. Because the dots is what got him. So the match could go differently, though. That's how it is. Well, Benjamin definitely has a lot more options. A lot more options. He has his Frostbite, he has his Winter Moon, and his Snow Angel. So he's going to get a stun every other round, essentially, or every other Winter Moon. He's going to get, and then he just has 2 dots to pressure him. It is a much more effective strategy here. So, match may just be going on for a bit longer, though, due to how it goes. At the same time, Jordan has more blade potential, though. That's the thing. One's playing a bit more offensive, the other one's playing a bit more slow and steady, but with dots. All the myth dots, were very high potency with blades. Honestly, though, if I was Benjamin, I may just consider trying to go with a similar blade stacking strategy. As if you don't have a way to clear those blade stacking, right? That blade stack is gonna come after you. But maybe those were banned. If a ref's around and could tell me what the other spells were, please let me know. Because that's the thing. It's interesting. Like, what spells were banned, right? Because we're not seeing the full picture of how the match was fully decided on.
It seems like he's in a really good place to use Winter Moon as well. Obviously, he still has a couple more shields up on himself. Being able to actually put a stun on Jordan can really help play this match into Benjamin's favor.
Yeah, indeed. All right, ladies and gentlemen. They have a fair bit of pips. We can see some barrages coming up real soon though.
Interesting move from Benjamin to show up again. He already has a couple mist shields, and he has enough tips to.
I mean,
do a
he's
snow
just
angel
playing
as well.
cautious though. Like he had it where in the past he was just kind of just utterly destroyed. And now that since the dot potential doesn't exist anymore, he's just trying to play it slow and steady. And especially because like, you know, his main hit, Jordan's main hit is Orthros, right? Like that's kind of how it works. So he has to double the amount of shields in order to be as effective in defense against an Orthros. Because that takes 2 shields every time. So in order to be effective, you need to have a second shield because the first hit, is the minor hit. The second hit is the big hit. And we're going to see, who wins in the persistent strategy, though. How much can Benjamin hang on for dear life? At least in retrospect. But hey, if you look at the health now, it is in Benjamin's favor, though. It definitely is in Benjamin's favor. I mean, that is definitely a lot of shields, but as I say, you learn from your past mistakes.
Then there is that Orthros. With Ben, he currently has 5 mist shields. This will take off 2 of them.
Yeah, I'm sure that he's really wishing that he had an earthquake in play for situations like this where you can just go around this problem. Because before he just had had dots, especially the King Art. King Art's really good in this case. Because King Art gets rid of three shields effectively in one turn, right? Because you have initial hit.
Yeah.
You have the shield removal effect. Then you have the first hit of the dot. It tramples through those shields. Myth just likes to say, what shield? That's just kind of how it is. That's just the impression that you get as a Myth Wizard, right?
Definitely. Never go again with another Orthros from Jordan as well.
Indeed. And he's just gonna keep summoning, summoning the Myth's good old famous Doggo. And he will persist. He will persist and make his way through. I mean, even with all, that shielding though, it's still hitting. It's still hitting pretty decently.
And then for Ben as well, this only leaves 1 mist shield on him. How many more shields does he have in his deck to prepare for more Jordan's hits?
Indeed. Yeah, definitely this is kind of good for Ben though, that due to the limited situation, you may not be able to afford a stun block, but in this case, he's gonna be able to get some stuns off pretty reliably. And that's he can stun every other frost the frost or winter moon, sorry. Again along the morning. Yeah.
And then once again, Orthros from Jordan as well.
Yeah, like if it was any other school though, that amount of shields would just take forever to get off. But like every time he does Orthros though, he'll get off 2 of them. So like eventually, the shields will be, he'll just catch up. That's kind of how it works though in this case. And because without those shields though, like Benjamin would be real hurting though. That's the thing.
Definitely. We've seen Jordan as well with trying to keep up with Blades as well. Whereas Benjamin is just kind of hitting and stunning and putting back more shields versus actually spending time on trying to use Blades. Because he knows he's at that disadvantage where Orthros will always knock out 2 shields with every hit. Ben really cannot afford to spend a lot of time on hitting if he wants to stay defensive against Orthros.
Yeah, like I'm sure he definitely wishes he has an heal and active play though to kind of catch up, as shielding gets you only so far in this case. There's a lot of chicken and eggs. In this pass, he tried to be a bit more offensive, but Myth has shield breaking capabilities outside of that higher pep dot that is Art though, because art is very effective. It's pretty ironic though, you know, seeing Ice kind of in this position. I don't know, man. I don't know where the point's going to go. It's 4K versus 3K here, but is whoever's going to be able to get that window of opportunity though.
If it weren't for this high shield, Benjamin really would have been a very good move to hit right there and do a decent amount of damage.
Let's see.
Because we got to remember he's been using Winter Moon a lot, but I can't remember if you said this, but does Benjamin still have Snow Angel?
Yeah, I believe there's still Snow Angel, but I mean, the mass shield breaking hasn't been as needed though. You can argue that at this rate though, you might as well just do some frostbites. Speaking of frostbites though, they're happening. Because you can get more frostbites off in Winter Moons, and kind of having that on as some pressure damage is useful. It's not looking so good though for these guys. It just isn't looking that good.
Jordan does have Blade and Pip advantage over Benjamin as well, and Ben is still relying on using those shields.
Shredder is allowed, but it can be banned. I'm unsure what the what all 8 spells were. I would love to know. But that is something. Let's also say you do, for example, if you do choose Shatter as a spell, that can be banned by the opponent.
It's something to look as well for Jordan. He has 3 blades and the bubble currently set up against Benjamin, so Ben really needs to use up these shields as well. He has no time to really blade. I believe there was no mention of him actually having a Bellfrost in there to change the bubble either, so he's also put a disadvantage there. There's no easy way for Benjamin to really play offensive as he would like to be, and I think that was kind of something he saw from that first match, as we've seen how many hits Ben was taking. And that offers the question on who really has the upper advantage. With Benjamin, he's not able to get a lot of damage done on Jordan, but Jordan doesn't have time to shield as he's constantly using his own damage boosters that he can to outdo Benjamin's shield. So it's kind of neck on neck on who really does have the advantage, the offensing or the defensing.
Hey, the bright side is at least this match is a little longer though. Like, he is surviving and getting those, whittling them down. Like, both of them are just trying to see who's gonna win the best. One's putting the pressure, the other one's just trying to resist the pressure and trying to slowly put out those dots. Ice's dots may be a lot less potent, but they are cheaper though. And he's able to do that a lot over time. Sadly though, for him though, he doesn't have the bubble control. Like, if he had a bubble though, that dot would definitely be applying a little more pressure, but it's just slow. But at the same time though, I mean, Jordan has less health at the moment. Though that's also partly due to health advantage as well.
And he passed as well. I wonder if he didn't have any effective spells with you. Because I was in Jordan's position, I definitely would have shielded here.
Yeah,
that's
definitely.
not good for Jordan as well, because now he's stunned.
Yeah, so he does have an extra round. So this is looking really good for Ben. Again, it's all about those windows of opportunities. Like, and with that, every other Winter Moon stun, he got himself to what he needs in Winter Moon. Like, it's all about that timing though.
Especially with Ben having the dots that he can place on Jordan, he might be in the perfect position to finally try to build up for one final big hit, as long as he can keep on tanking the hits that Jordan places on him. He's kind of got that moment of gateway where he can do that, because Jordan still needs another round or two before he can really use Orthrus to the best of his advantage.
Indeed.
Especially with the overtime still standing on Jordan, and Benjamin is still using these shields. It really does look like that Jordan might be in the position of being lost to one major hit.
Yeah, and this definitely is a good comeback for Ben, though. I mean, he definitely had to be much more patient, especially coming from match 1 where that defeat was just so swift. Yeah, like it's looking very, very gloomy though, and especially because no one has a heal in, whether it was banned or just they chose not to put a heal. They sure are hoping or wishing they had a heal probably on next set, right?
Definitely, without a heal, this really does build up a lot of tension for both of them.
You know, that shield is only gonna help so much, man.
And then we're also seeing that Ben doesn't have any pips, and even though the Jordan still has the pip advantage over Ben, he still has multiple mid shields that he has to get through before he can do any real damage on him. And
Yeah.
Ben is still putting up shields as well.
Yeah, even more than like that shatter really looks useful, and or that earthquake. It is, you know, that earth just may not be enough, unless you maybe get a crit on here, right? But that's trying to say if you, in terms of getting a decent dent through those shields, though, that's the issue. Like, he has 3.6k health. It's not gonna look that good though.
It seems as though their playstyles being competitive with each other, Jordan relying on hitting mostly, Benjamin relying on trying to shield mostly. It looks like Ben, with the health advantage, looks like he was really able to hold out against Jordan's hits.
Indeed. And that's one of the things about these matches, though. It's all about your deck composition and how you time your attacks. You know, a lot of this stuff may seem like it's very repetitive initially, but there is a bigger picture that, you know, takes a bit to form, though. You know, they have a plan and then they execute it. So, you know, there is a point that going over to Ben. It's 1-1. We'll be going for set 3 very soon. All right, so we have a list of all the spells that are available and the ones that are banned way ahead of time. Again, thank you, Mike, for providing the list, as we got that all sorted out. Okay, so Jordan, here are the spells that Jordan has available to him that he can use. He has Temple Legends, Shatter, Brace, Basilisk, King Artorias, Celestial Calendar. Benjamin, the Ice, has Dream Shield, Shift, Ice Blade, Frostbite, Brace, and Balefrost. So there's a lot that, you know, these guys definitely have evolved their tool set over time. And here's what's banned, just so we can understand that context. So the bans are as follows. So the bans are Winter Moon and Snow Angel. So, you know, Jordan just doesn't want to see that. Benjamin himself doesn't want to see Myth Blade or Spirit Blade. So, like, he's scared of the blade stacking. So, you know, definitely a lot of interesting things they can do, especially with that shift on Benjamin's side. Like, he's like, you know what? Those dots, I don't care. They're on. I'm just going to shift it over if it's a problem for me, right? And then, you know, on the other case, it's like, that Shatter, we need Shatter. I don't like the shields. Definitely.
We're starting out with the Bubble War as well.
Yeah. So they're like, you know what? We don't care. Bubbles are around. That's, you know, it's going to be mutually like, okay, you know what? I prefer a Bubble War because Bubble Wars are cool. And then they probably are like, you know what? We need these utility spells. I don't care if you bubble. So we definitely have some good options here for sure. You know, I always love match 3 in here though. Like the idea is really interesting because you learn a lot though from these spells and what you're limited to. You know, and this should be the penultimate match of them all. Out of those spells, though, you who do you think is going to be the victor just based upon their arsenal now has been evolved?
Honestly, I really can tell you. It's very interesting because this time we're seeing where we can see Jordan's actually in the spots be able to stun Benjamin. So it's very interesting to see what kind of advantage Jordan's going to be able to get on top of Benjamin. Because Benjamin's already been brought down to less health than Jordan has just in the first 3 rounds.
Indeed, man. Like, it's just very interesting to see kind of the pace they're going at. They have the spells to go ahead and counter their primary strategies that we've seen in the past, though.
And indeed, very different as well for Benjamin, because we didn't see him really cast hardly any blades last match, but now he's actually stacking up blades as well, and he has enough pips to get a hit on Jordan, whose only protection is a fortify.
Yeah, I gave a copy paste to chat from what I got from Mike, so that's what everything is, just so you can see it out there. That's what they have available. So, Calendar, though, is his big hit, but he doesn't have the blades, though. Keep that in mind. He does not have the blades, but he has a bubble, though, as his only buff. Definitely is interesting in kind of what's going on. It's like, yeah, that bite stacking, that will kill me. That will be the downfall. This definitely is going to be a much tighter match. This could be a match that goes to time, goes to 45 minutes. I kind of want that in the vein of, seeing them pushing it back and forth until they get someone to, cry uncle, that sort of thing. Like, that's what we need. Now this is going to be one spicy dot with the bubble. I'm sure he's really happy he's able to go ahead and get himself out and offensive without having the scare of the bass or the scare particularly of a high potency either Basilisk and or King Notorious, as those are very scary for him. Now of course Jordan is not having anything and is getting himself his own bubble and going, here we go.
Chaining the bubble is a really good move for Jordan, as that over time will now do a little bit less damage. But we see that Benjamin's already counting by changing the bubble again.
Yeah, no one is letting each other give, though. This is kind of this is awesome, though. And it's also interesting in terms of the evolvement from one of the other matches we saw at the beginning of day 1, though, where there just wasn't a bubble war when there should be a bubble war. And of course, there is life. It was Ice versus Life, though, but where there could have been much more give, where Ice could win the bubble war in terms of pip efficiency. But in here, obviously, against 2 schools that have a 2-pip bubble, it is an even pull and tug, though, as we keep seeing. Neither of them wants to give, though. No one wants to give up their damage boost, especially for Jordan, where that is literally his primary source of additional damage. It's definitely going to be a war among wars, and he's going to give or take on that, and particularly especially for your defensive buffs, how long is your brace gonna last if you're gonna fight over the bubble versus actually using that to soak out damage, right?
Indeed, we're definitely seeing Ben more offensive as well.
Yeah. I mean, truthfully, though, he doesn't have to worry, though, as much about being melted. Because that was the worry, though, for Ben. Even as an Ice Wizard, based on the set of spells he had available before, he just wasn't able to really last that long against kind of the offensive might of Jordan. That was the problem, though. He couldn't really last long enough.
And then Ben still has maximum amount of pips as well, so he can automatically move into another big hit. He may try to change the bubble again beforehand. And then we're seeing a shift as well. Not looking as good for Jordan, because now his own bubble will be used against him. So that was a very smart move. Benjamin, knowing that Jordan would want to use overtimes by putting in a shift, he could definitely use Jordan's on the bubble to his advantage.
Indeed, yeah. It's very interesting because you know the dots were a big problem though for Ben in the past. Now it's like he has the shifts, and then in terms of the other big problem of all those shields for Jordan, he doesn't have to worry about them anymore because if there's too many, he can just step back and throw out a shatter though. You know, they both have valid and really useful options to go against their opponent though. That's what makes this a much more exciting match this time around, as they have all the utility they need and they can use their strategy more effectively. As in the past, you can probably argue a lot of their strat was blocked right at the spells that were banned. Here they encountered for spells that would be banned, or made it known that, hey, these two spells make up a big part of the strategy that you lost to. Again, the evolutions of these matches, you know, match 3 definitely is a match that is exciting, coming from the past too.
And then there comes that bubble change as well, because it seems like Ben is kind of in that position where he's ready for a decent-sized hit that can bring Jordan really down low. And I think Jordan's really kind of afraid of losing bubble control over that.
Indeed, indeed. You know, Jordan's sweating a lot though. You know, against a max pip ice that has that 6k health though. Like he definitely is, you know, chugging along quite happy while Jordan's going, oh, my health, where art thou?
If Jordan could put an overtime on Ben, this could really go more in towards Jordan's favor, but Benjamin really does have a big health advantage over him. And as well as the shields, it's not leaving much room for Jordan to keep in hits, as well as Benjamin having double blades and possibly going in for aura control, or bubble control, sorry. And then I think that really, that's not going to put Jordan in a very good position to last much longer.
That crit, though, can be really valuable here. I mean, again, the shields are a very situational sort of thing, though. I mean, the King Art is powerful in just shield breaking alone. And, you know, since it's back in play, though, we're going to see a lot of that pressure. Now, of course, that pressure is a lot less without those blades, because those blades are the Achilles heel for Ben. Like, that's literally what killed him before. But of course, by having it in, he can shift it over though. That is the risk on Jordan. Like, arguably, you know, that celestial counter probably is what he wants. And the irony is, because shift does whatever damage and piercing that was on that spell, it's gonna put that onto Jordan, and that's a big and then, you know, a big giant dot. And since Jordan doesn't have a lot of resistance to his own school, it's looking dire.
All Ben really needs is one hit. Changing the bubble, that's interesting. So that kind of takes out the...
Yeah, he wants to... Well, no, the damage boost on the myth bubble is still there on the dot, though. Keep that in mind.
Oh, that's true, that's true.
But it doesn't even matter, though, because it's 1,500 damage, though. That's a point over the Ben. You know, it was looking very dire, though. It was looking very dire for Ben, but he made a comeback, though. He made the comeback at the very end. You know, the match lasts for about 10 minutes and 42 seconds, you know. Good game to both participants, though. They did a fantastic job at battling against each other and really, really evolving their deck and getting themselves their penultimate deck in match 3, or set 3 particularly. So we have it where he'll be going to the finals. Let's see, what's the matchup of finals though, particularly? It's gonna be Ice versus either Myth or Balance.
I believe Alex was the Balance.
Yeah, so it is going to be Ice versus Balance now. It's going to be a pretty hype match.
A really intense match between Alex and Fire Wizard, and Alex ended with almost max health at the very end as well. It's a very intense match.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch the VOD of that though. That definitely does seem like it would be a fun match to look back in retrospect, which will be available on the YouTube channel in the coming days and or weeks. It depends on how long it takes because it varies. All right, definitely fun though. Round 5 will be beginning the planning period super duper super duper 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 soon, aka whenever Mike says it, because he is the one, the official. The round has begun, guy. Let's see.